Welcome back to the Owl Arcade. As you can see, we're back here with the Galaga machine. We're wearing some project appropriate attire, setting the bar pretty high for future videos. We'll see how that works out. We're out here in the garage getting sweaty again, so I've got the fan on full blast. I've got the mic noise reduction turned up to max, so hopefully you can actually hear me okay. But what we're doing today is pulling her down. She coming down. In the previous video where we did the disassembly, there were a few bits and pieces I left in place, hoping that I wasn't going to have to remove them. If needs be, we will. Some attaching hardware, some brackets, latches, the speaker, this problem speaker at the top here. I was hoping to avoid having to take that out. At least one of the fasteners needs to come off because we need to get that ground wire back on. In this here package that I received yesterday is my replacement artwork from Phoenix Arcade. A new old stock control panel overlay. I've got new kick panel art. I've got new side art. The kick panel and the side art's reproduction artwork. I'm really looking forward to taking a look at this. But that does mean I did bite the bullet on that. I was thinking about keeping the kick panel art. I am going to replace that. It's looking a bit ropey. It needs replacing. So we've got the entire kit here. So we will be taking the kick panel art off in the process as well. So we're just going to jump straight in and start tearing this thing down. Okay, here we go. Starting with the T-molding on both sides. This is standard black flat T-molding. It kind of looked like leather finish to me at one point here, just because it's so ropey. But anyway, it's kind of started itself off at the bottom there, so we're gonna capitalize on that, making sure that we don't inadvertently damage the wood any more than it already has been as we tear this off. It's going in the trash. This side also, it's already started coming off at the bottom, so you can see the wood fibers come flying off here as this thing's been falling apart. So again, I'm going to try and not break it any more than it already is. I did the back there a little bit gently, top corners a little bit flaky. I don't know what this panel's hiding. I'll get zoomed in on that and we'll take a quick look. You may have seen this plate on here from previous videos. I don't know what this is hiding, so we're going to pop it off and see what's underneath these. Well, they're not wood screws for a start, so I don't know. That's a thick metal plate. I suspect that was to strengthen this area. Yeah, that's exactly what it was for. Yeah, take a look at this. We've got splits in the wood. So that was basically a strengthener for this section. You can probably see that moving there. This is, yeah, okay, I get what they did there. We will fix that, and we're not going to need to reuse that plate once we're done here. Let's move on to the kick panel art. Now this part of the process usually goes a little bit easier when you apply some heat. So we've got a full charge on our heat gun. We've put it on high. We're just going to start working one side and see if we can't start to get this to lift up a little bit. Now this is probably going to be a really fun exercise to try and get this started. Yeah, it's really brittle and it wants to just break off in little chunks. But if we're lucky, we will get it going just by using our nail and see if we can't get a larger area up. That's getting a little bit better. A bit more heat, softening the plastic up, or the vinyl, sorry. Come on, baby. All right, we're going to put some more heat into that, way more heat. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay. As I go and lay it back down again, that was clever. We're started. Oh, we just need to make sure we can keep going. So we will get some more heat on this now and start seeing if it will pull away. What you may notice when looking across the entire face of this vinyl is the proliferation of nicks, dings, dents and scratches. Basically hundreds of little failure points where whenever I got a good pull going on that vinyl, I would hit one of those and it would tear out. So needless to say, this got very tedious very quickly. But you see the process. We apply heat, soften the adhesive, pull it away as best we can. This is the least aggressive method of removing a vinyl without damaging what's underneath. And we kept on going basically until we ran out of batteries. Come on. Well, this is getting a bit tedious, isn't it? So we're not even halfway through and our biggest capacity battery has died, 4 amp hours. So yeah, we're going to go put that on charge. I've got another couple batteries hanging around. We'll take the opportunity to tidy up a little bit down here and recharge ourselves, maybe with a recharge on the coffee situation, and we'll be right back. So we've basically run all of our batteries down using the heat gun, trying to get that vinyl off the front. There's just enough juice left for us to transition up here and take these fasteners out. And who knows, maybe this cabinet will just fall apart all by itself. We've got one up here, one back here, one here. That is just spinning. Ah, squeaky. What else we got? What are these? Got what appears to be rivets. What are they? We'll come back to that. We've got more fasteners down here. We've got, oh, hello. What's going on here? There's one. There's another. We've got some big old flathead things going on in there. I don't know what that's all about. Sorry, let's get our fastener pot. So these don't go walkies across the garage. More down here. What is that? Looks like a... Oh, good Lord. Looks like a nail. I don't know what we got back there. We got more nails. We're gonna have to come back to those. Let's see what's going on with this flathead nonsense here. Where are my things? This is obviously what I meant by things. My impact set. I'll take that and that. Get out of there, you. That goes there. This goes here. And my impact eyes. Cool. Let's do it the old-fashioned way, huh? There's that. Come on. Dear Lord, what's going on here? Well, I think we might have to bust out the impact driver for that one. Let's go grab it. I really do need a new one of these. This is falling apart. But I think we can probably make do if I can get something that fits in there. That might do it. Yeah, let's have a go at that. There we go. I think we're at the point where we need to probably lay this thing down on its back so that it doesn't fall over and damage something else in the garage. So let's get it down on its back And then I'm going to see if I can locate my persuader. Oh, there's a bag of vinyl. Just put that in with my wife's puzzles. She won't mind. And here we go. So with this side about ready to come off, I can see my persuader over there on the floor with all the rest of my tools that are on the floor. Dead blow hammer. I'm going to go grab that, and I think this side might be coming off. She did a little bit of a pirouette so that you can see this a little bit better. Here's the persuader. We're going to start at the top, just giving her just a bit of a kiss, gentle tap. We've definitely got some movement. It's about 3 at the top. Let's see what we can do a little bit further down here. Yep, not far off. Okay, we've got an inner panel that's just let go. That's okay. Top panel's just let loose. There's that. Just for the record, I did not do that damage. That was already done. And we should be able to fix that as well. So I guess we crack on, huh? Got a dowel at least. That's interesting. Oh. And there's that side panel. Right, well, I'm going to try carefully. I've got to lay these out a little bit, so bear with me. What are we going to do with this? I certainly don't want to break it. Screwdriver. That's not going to work. Definitely getting some movement here. What else we got in the bag of tricks? Oh, nothing helpful. Let's just keep going with this approach. Ah, there we go. We can definitely live with that for sure. We've got spiders. So these are the kind of fasteners that we've got that were holding this thing together. So I guess they are sort of, you drill out a pocket and you pop that in there and screw it into the pocket. And then you've got a sort of a dowel that's used to locate. We're missing a bunch of these. They're not in the cabinet still. So I'm really not sure where they went. We will investigate that a little bit further. But let's get those nails out. I knew this would happen. I've properly boxed myself in with all these monitors because I kind of want to get to my table, which is right here. I guess I'm going to have to go out and in around the back there, see if I can retrieve it. So let's do that. I got to say hello to my relocated Triumph T120 while I was around the back there, so that was nice. These are the nails that we're going to be removing with a different kind of persuader. So let's get to it. Oh, that's in there at a bit of a wonky angle. Come on out. There we go. Oh, oh, you poor thing. Yeah. All right. We are going to ritualistically melt these down. No, we're not. I'm just kidding. We're going to throw these away, but we're not going to throw them straight in the trash, because that's how you end up with a nail in your tyre on your vehicle when the trash collection people just throw it all over the road, because of course that's never happened to me. So we're going to put these in a bag in a trash can so that we don't end up shooting ourselves in the foot, so to speak. I have not seen these particular fasteners before. I had a little bit of a fiddle with it, and it looks like you turn the screw and it slackens things off, and then you're able to pull the insert out. There we go. So looking at the back side of that, I think we actually do have a couple that stayed with the other piece of the cabinet here. I thought this was just some sort of weird, I don't know what I thought that was. But I guess we should be able to pull that out. Maybe need to get some grips on it or something, but we've got that one there, and I thought I saw another one. Did I? Oh yeah, that one there. So I'm gonna go grab some grippy things and try and liberate those two fasteners, and then we can keep everything together. Classic mold grips. Should be able to wiggle this bad boy out. Without too much fuss. There we go. And we got this one here, this poor sorry state is, oh, there we go. That was easy. We'll just zip round and get these other ones real quick. So it should be a case of unscrewing it and popping it out. Looks like it's already undone. Yeah, that's weird. How about this one? That's maybe undone as well. Okay. That's it. Yeah, that's it. For down the bottom there. Let's get these ones up top. There's that one. There's that one. And, oh, I've gone too far. What's going on there? And there's that one. I am not a cabinetry expert by any stretch of the imagination, and I don't believe I've come across these when I've put together my IKEA furniture in the past. I've seen something similar, of course, but I don't actually know what these are or what they're called. I would like to replace them with the same, just, you know, new ones, if possible, or try and figure out an alternative for putting this cabinet back together when we get to that point. Because, you know, these have seen better days. They're a bit rough. So if anybody knows what these are, what they're called, and where I can get them, and how they come out, and how I insert them, please feel free to let me know in the comments. That would be greatly appreciated. Oh, starting to compress the plastic a little bit. There we go. So starting from the control panel area, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, Back to the start. So we've got 13 of those, and we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I'm missing 2. So genuinely, like two of those fasteners have just gone AWOL somehow. And I think they were these ones in the back corner here where it's looking particularly ropey. So I'm not at all surprised that they've gone missing, but obviously we're going to have to source some new fasteners from somewhere. So again, if you know what these are and you can help me out, let me know in the comments. Right hand panel. Okay, I think we can get this panel up and out the way for the time being, and then let's have a look at what needs done to the rest of the gubbins over there. All right, top pieces. They're a bit wibbly wobbly. What do you reckon? Quick pull. Yeah, there we go. That was easy. Over to these control panel cross braces, I guess. These are held in by these sort of metal fasteners. I think I can probably just pull these out. Oh, starting to destroy things down the bottom there. Certainly don't want to do that. Yeah, this one's coming out. There we go. Must remember what that one looks like. Get a good look. You know what? We're just going to rip that band-aid off, because we've got to fix this thing anyway. So there we go. There's some glue that did hold, I guess. It's taken some wood with it, but we can fix that. Let's put that to one side. Now comes some interesting stuff for these bottom panels. I think this is probably going to fall apart pretty easily. Let me just give you a look at what's happening up here. Help me! Help me! Ah. Okay, well, you heard those cries of distress like I did, so that's what we're going to do. Manufactured November 1981. Oh man, just found that hidden down in the wood. Let's put that to one side. That was that was quite a cool little find in there. All right, so for starters, that's fallen apart. What are we going to do here then? Looking at this, I think we've got some fasteners down on the other side of these panels where it was shored up before that we haven't taken out. So we're going to flip this over on this side now and take those fasteners out. So I made do with flipping it over onto its front. We've got a mixture of fasteners here, and thankfully one of my batteries is at least charged. And good gravy. We'll have a go at pulling those out right now. Things are starting to move. What have we got down there? They're nails. We've got flat heads. There and there and there. That is not all. We've got a couple of nails, but also another flat head down here. So let's pull that out. And there we go. That should be all the fasteners, all the threaded fasteners anyway. I noticed we've got a block up in here as well and a couple fasteners on top. That looks like a square head, another pan head. So we're just going to grab those out real quick. All right, that's you. This has got a whole bunch of junk in it, making it difficult for me to get a bit in there. So I've just grabbed my handy pick set and I'm just going to use that to kind of get this crud out. I just need to put you to one side for a second so I can use both hands and clean this out. That should do it. Ooh, I think we might just be able to get in there. Let's put that one back. Oh, Lord. Seriously? All right, well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? All right, let's take care of this sorry old back panel here. The only place it seems to be mildly connected is just back here. I don't know why that would be. I'm trying to preserve this a little bit so I can get good dimensions off it to recreate a piece. But oh, look at that. Oh my. Let's have a little look at these wheels. They're actually still fastened into this bottom panel. So I'm wondering if we take this side panel off with a persuader, take this side panel off, and then this is going to be free. This will come straight out, and then we'll deal with the wheels later. All right, let's get this up onto its side again. I'm just conscious that we've lost some, I was going to say structural integrity, but I don't think it really had any. So I want to be a little bit careful about, oh, game over. I certainly hadn't intended for that to happen, but you know, here we are. So let's get persuading, and we should be able to get this separated now. So there's not really much holding this together anymore. There we go. I believe that is it. Yep. Where are we going to put that? Let's just put it here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with this side panel we did with the right-hand side. This is the left-hand side. We're going to get it up onto the work table, and we're going to get all these fasteners taken care of. These nails sticking out of here. They don't need to be there. Let's get it up on the table and get that taken care of. Okay, we've got nails, we've got these cabinet fasteners all the way around. We've got a screw. I missed a screw. More nails, another screw that I missed. I'm just going to scoot round and get all of that taken care of real quick. Missed another screw down here. All right, well, they were all at various different stages of not actually fastened down properly. That there fastener must have been buried. That is a threaded fastener. Looks like another flathead to me. Oh, wow. No, that's really not helpful. And that's how it's done. Also got this one at the top here, which is another crosshead. Zip, that one's out. And this one here, a final crosshead. And there we go. There we go, got the rest of this nasty junk collected up. We will get that into some sort of bag or container and get it into the trash. So based on the other side, we should have, what, 13 of these little maggots. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We're missing one somewhere. Okay, let's get them bagged. left-hand panel. All right, let's get this put up with the other panel over there just leaning against the dynamo. Yes, indeed. So the only thing that's left is this bottom panel, basically. So let's get this onto what is the front of the cabinet. And we're looking for that special wiggle. Hey, there it goes. Front panel's got 1, 2, 3 of these special fasteners. So we will pull these out. This bottom section's not looking all that great. Gonna see what we can do to salvage that, mind you. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed isn't proving to be all that successful. Not for you trying to follow along. Anyhow. There you go. What's the deal with this one? There's always one, isn't there? I need my pick set again. What is going on? I thought that was it right there. Is that not it? I just need to take a little bit of a closer look at this off camera. Hold up. Ta-da! Tied it up with my trusty pick. So we should now be able to get a turn on that. Indeed we can. Sort of. Kind of, sort of. And it's out. Front panel. Okie dokie. Here we are with the bottom panel. We are going to take these nasty old levelers off. Take the rest of this hardware off. I am going to try my damnedest to save these brackets, and we'll get the wheels off, and we'll put this to one side because we're going to want to measure this out for fabricating a replacement panel. So first of all, 14mm wrench. Don't know how this is going to go because these are pretty corroded. I gotta say, not looking great. But then again, we were kind of expecting that, weren't we? That's one. This one's so corroded that the 14mm isn't actually fitting on it very easily. Come on. Yeah, the actual leg leveler is not coming out of this one. That's going to need some of the special syrup, the old WD-40. How about this one? Oh yeah, that one's fine. Let's get this one out of here. See if we can throw this one on the floor as well, eh? There we go. That's two. This, oh man, this one is, ooh, yikes. Let's get a closer look at these two at the back here. That one's bent. That's not good. This one over here is kind of, at least, you know, it's straight, even though it's stuck. So we'll get some WD-40 on those bad boys in just a tick. Coming in with the WD-40. We'll let that sit. And in the meanwhile, we can get these other two brackets off. These are flathead or panhead screws. And we're not currently fitting in there with our attachment at all. So we're going to need to do something to open out the slots in these screws because they are very, very corroded and very not accepting of a bit. You might be able to see how these are sort of closed in. It's going to take a very fine bit, which I don't have, or something a bit different. I've got just the thing. I happen to have an oscillating tool with a multi-purpose bit on the end, so we're going to use that to open these out a little bit. That's one. That's two. That's three. That's four. That's five. What do you reckon? Still can't get in there. Nope. Still can't get in there. I've got a thinner bit here, I think. That looks a little bit thinner. That might do the trick. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel great. All right now. Well, that one's freed up, even if it didn't come out. Same with that one. I expect these are all going to be pretty much the same, you know. Okay. All right. There we go. I am not going to keep these fasteners. They are very badly corroded on the thread, so we're going to throw those. Well, we're going to keep hold of them for now, so we can find a replacement that's as close as, but these will ultimately get tossed. We're not even going to bother trying to unscrew these. We're just going to use the same technique, brute force, I believe it's called. Sometimes simple but effective, with the old trusty screwdriver. There it goes. I believe I just threw one of the fasteners on the floor. Yep, there it is. Or indeed two of them. Wait, I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll turn up. There it is. It was on the floor. Let's see how these ones at the back are getting on after having soaked for a minute. That is not going anywhere. Neither is that one. So we are going to use the same technique as the front two to get these back two off. And I'm going to drop these in my sonic cleaner and see if that doesn't free up the threads so that we can get these levelers out and reuse the brackets. I don't know what else I was expecting, to be fair. That's got it really, hasn't it? Let's kind of tidy this off. I don't really want to drop all this wood fibre in the ultrasonic cleaner. But I do want to put this bracket in. I think that's about as good as it gets. It is a little bit bent. It's got a bit of a curve on it. And at the same time, this seems to be, oh, yeah, that's really not looking great, is it? It looks like it's welded in there. I might have to accept defeat on that one. These rear ones I might not be able to use, reuse, salvage, whatever. let's tidy this up into the trash. Let's see what damage we can do with this bent leg. You know, I'm gonna be surprised if we don't get somewhat similar results to leg number 3. Surprisingly a little bit more solid, which is very strange. Well, much the same, but we'll clean this off real quick. There we go. Similar story underneath here. It's kind of corroded itself all together, become one. We'll see what we can do with it. So let's get this stuff organized and bagged up and tidy this up and then move on to the wheels. So, attachments from my bag of tricks. These are 8mm hex heads, although they do have a flathead attachment down the middle. We're not going to bother with that because that's likely to yield less positive results. So what do we think is going to happen here? These are just going to turn, do you reckon? Or are they going to come up? How about that? That's 2, 3, 4. Superb. All right, there's a wheel. Ooh, it's a bit rusty crusty. Doesn't turn particularly well. Okay. Oh, I say, I was not expecting that. That's out enough. All right, so wheel number 2, also rusty crusty. That one actually turns. But again, we're going to see if we can patch these up. These fasteners, probably a little too far gone. The threads are all corroded out and rusty. So if the threads were okay and it were just the heads, we could tidy those up. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So now we can bag these things up and put this base to one side. Bag of wheels. Back on the operating table is the front panel. This will be a little bit more comfortable standing up, being able to work on this to get the rest of this vinyl off. You can see what relatively little progress I managed to make on this with all the effort that I put into it, but I'm going to get it finished off. I will have a go at doing that now since we've got charged batteries in our heat gun.
2 hours later.
We are getting to the end of what's been a very long and tedious process. I actually kind of fashioned myself a scraper out of a Stanley blade and my mole grip since I couldn't find my actual scraper, and all that's left now is the eyes. The scraper just helps get up underneath it. As you can see, I did a lot of the rest of this with this scraper and it really didn't do a good job of pulling up the adhesive. But that should be easy enough to tidy up after the fact. I just want to get this done now. That's it done. I'm going to have a go at putting some Goo Gone or something on here, or I might just leave it until we get at it with the sander. I don't know. But the vinyl is gone. Yes, it looks a bit rough for now, but this will be tidied up very, very quickly. I am going to have a quick crack at this with some goof off. We're going to leave that on there for a few minutes and then come back with some paper towels and give it a bit of a wipe up and see if we can get this residue off. Okay, we've given this about 10 minutes while we went to eat some dinner, and Oh yeah, that goo's coming off. That's lovely. Ooh. It's also where I've inadvertently caught the woodwork with the edge of the Stanley knife and created a little bit of a gouge. It's made those little gouges pop too, which is kind of annoying. But again, we can live with that for now, since we're going to be sanding this all down and priming it up and sanding it back and priming it up and making the surface look nice. I can't really get too excited about that right now. I've got some water in a spray bottle over here. I'll just use that to rinse off the surface a little bit. Get that goo gone off here. Or any remnants of goo gone. Or sorry, goof off. All right, one more for luck. And with the exception of these, I've really caught this, haven't I? With the Stanley knife. And this wood has just absorbed that moisture straight away and made these little pimples all over. Well, again, you know, we're going to sand this back. We're going to give every wooden surface a very healthy coat of wood hardener so that we can make this original woodwork as future-proof as possible, as resilient as we can make it. We'll have a go at that in a later video. Well, that really is as far as I was hoping to get today. We've fully disassembled the cabinet. We have removed the attaching hardware from the base and put that to one side. We've got the rear lower panel. That's been disassembled. We can measure that. We can measure the bottom panel. That's probably the next stage for us, is to cut some replacement wood and start piece by piece on the restoration on each of these other bits that we're going to retain and build back up into our cabinet ultimately. So until then, love you, bye.